Hey there and welcome back to my channel. If you spend much time here, you'll know that I have this project called Palette Pull-In. A palette is randomly selected from a generator on my phone, and I just have to start using the shades in consecutive order, incorporating whatever shade is next into whatever eye look I'm doing. I always give myself the option not to use it if it's really not going to work, and sometimes I forget to use it, but on the whole, I've been doing pretty good. Now, I just finished my last palette pull-in, which was Sorceress Smoke from Unearthly, and now it's time to generate a new one. So we're going to spin the little spinny thing in my app. I use the Tiny Decisions app. I have all my palettes filled in there, and the result is, ta-da, the Margarita palette from Glamlite Cosmetics. This was given to me by a subscriber. I have their Dirty Martini from this quad, this collection. They had Margarita, Dirty Martini, they had the wine palette, which was all purples. I actually have that one. The same subscriber gave me that one, but I'm not going to use it, so I'll include it in a giveaway at some point. And then the fourth one in that quad was Chocolate Martini, which I've eyed on and off for a couple of years too. So anyway, she sent me this one, and I knew she was planning on doing so. And I think that this is a great, fun, very bright, obviously, tropical kind of color story. It's a wonderful palette pull-in probably for the spring and summer months, because these are colors I'm going to be a little bit more inclined to use or easily incorporate rather than I think in the fall months. Like, this just feels more appropriate for springy summer looks. I don't know. I don't do my eyeshadow based on the season, but this just feels summertime. Also, as far as the palette pull-in is concerned, like I said, it's just the next consecutive shade. So today, all I have to use is this one, but because this is brand new in my collection and I want to play with it, I'm going to do an entire look using this palette and making sure that I incorporate this, which is my palette pull-in. I've already primed my eyes with the Glamlite icing primer, and everything I'm using is linked in the description box. I'm not completely certain what I want to use. I'm wearing this necklace, and my my jewelry is all cool toned, and I have opal earrings. And none of that really works with the yellow shimmer in here. Initially, I thought I would go as neutral as I could to work with my shirt, which would be like this sextet right here. But this shade would be a nice match for my necklace, as I said, it's pretty close, or that one. And the silvery tones of my jewelry. I feel like my jewelry works with my outfit, but I'm not confident how this yellow shimmer is going to work with everything. I'm not sure. Let me think on that for a second, and then I guess I'll get back to you. But wait, let's do the mirror, because people love the mirror stuff. I'm just going to wing it. I don't have a firm plan. I think I might play with these two shades right here to start with. There's not a deep shade in here, unfortunately. I do wish it went a little darker. I wish that one of these shades were at least a darker leaning mid-tone brown matte. I would even go darker than mid-tone, but you know, whatever. I'm going to start with the shade Melon because I don't want to muddy or sully it with different colors. So just Melon first as a bit of an inner corner pop. I thought about doing the blue, which is a bit of a better match for my jewelry, but the blue I think is just so very sky blue. It might not work quite as well with my shirt, and it might not work quite as well with the other tones, again, to match my shirt. This one, here's my necklace. It's pretty good, right? That'll work. That'll tie into the earrings as well. Okay, now I'm going to take Tamarind with the same brush. This is a Singe EO2. And Tamarind. This palette reminds me so much of that, it's a lot of kick up. Reminds me so much of that Malibu Barbie palette from ColourPop. Do you have that one, or do you have this one? Just very poolside vibe sort of palettes. The pop of blue with the pinky and yellowy kinds of tones. I have a napkin on my lap that I'm using to wipe off my brush. And I think that I'll pick up a hint of Shot Time, which is the brown matte. It's not really deepening at all. I mean, it's not going to because it's not a darker tone. I intended to pull another palette from my collection actually to get dark mattes, but I clearly forgot. So that's all right. It's okay. It's just gonna orange up and muddy up this pinky tone a little bit. That's okay. It's not adding depth, which means that because I'm not going to take the time to go get another palette to bring in a darker shade, what I will do is be careful with these shimmers. If I apply them with my finger, they're going to be really, really metallic and foiled and quite opaque. And I think could easily overrun the mattes, so I won't apply the shimmers with my finger. I will get a flat brush, and I will pick up Fresh Pineapple, which is the first shade in the palette, and this is my palette pull-in. I'm gonna go in lightly because I can always add more if I want to, but this is gonna be it could easily go overboard, especially with the total lack of depth that this look has. So just gonna lay this down with a dry brush. I haven't sprayed it. I'm kind of tapping into place and then sort of brushing it around lightly. So this is my palette pull-in technically. My daughter was in my makeup basket just a few minutes ago, and she was looking at the false eyelashes, which I've only worn once. I wore them for my 1,000 subscriber video. They too were sent to me by a subscriber because my subscribers are awesome. It's just a fact. And I don't know, I had another package of false eyelashes in my bin. I have no idea where they came from. They just appeared and I was puzzled. And she was like, Mom, where did these come from? I don't know. I don't remember them. I don't remember them. Anyway, they're there. And so we were chatting a bit about false eyelashes and how awkward it felt to wear them because the ones that I used in that video were like pretty heavily curled, I thought, and they just felt so heavy on my lashes. Okay, that's pretty. Let me get a bit of Presidente, just a little of this blue shimmer. This one I might use with my finger because it's a little lighter. And I want to touch that blue matte that I laid down. Drag them together a smidge. Well, tomorrow, not by the time you're seeing this, but as of filming, tomorrow I am singing at a fundraising gala event and I get to wear a beautiful dress and it's like black tie and it's gonna be a fancy do. And I'm really excited because as the entertainment, I get comp tickets for myself and my husband. So we're gonna go out and have a lovely evening together. And that's pretty. It's a little muddy over here. It kind of starts to turn a bit green between the blue and the yellow. Obviously, color theory. It's a little bit green in that center spot and I'm not complaining. I actually think I'll pick up Fresh Pineapple with my finger just to intensify. Oh yes. Yeah, that's fun. So anyway, as I thought about the gala event, I was thinking, hey, if there's ever a time for me to wear false eyelashes, performing on stage at a gala might be that time. Maybe I'll try false eyelashes again tomorrow. I'm a little apprehensive. It was an experience. I'll card that video here if you are curious to watch me try to apply false eyelashes. I need something on my lower lash line here. Let's grab a Singe EO1 and pick up Melon again. Just gently lay that down. This is quite a fluffy and pretty large brush for the lower lash line. But because I'm going in lightly and it's just sort of puffing away a little bit, and because it's a light color, it's not like I'm applying something really dark there. Ooh, I love that melon shade though. And now I'll go back into Tamarind to touch this peach out here. I kind of feel like I'm matching this inner packaging right here with the watermelon and the pink, but ironically, these shades of green don't exist in the palette. I mean, you have a little bit of this limey green right here, but that's it. Like, we don't have either of these green tones in the palette itself, and it feels like, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I do wonder, but I kind of feel like what is happening? I don't dislike this look. I'm trying to put a finger on how I would describe it. I don't know, these tones are really interesting together. Saltwater taffy. This is a saltwater taffy kind of look. That's what I see in these colors, particularly the lower lash line with this aqua verdigris sort of blue into a peachy pink that's not fully peach and not fully pink. And then I've got this Shot Time shade, which I'm also adding right here, and that whips us right over to a more of an orange sort of feel. But again, not fully orange. Saltwater taffy. That's what I'm getting. So that's the whole look. I don't know how it looks with my shirt. Kind of ish. Well, this is what it is. I'm gonna go off camera and do the other side, and I'll be right back to close out the video. The details for finishing off this look include the shade Icebreaker in my waterline. This is ColourPop's Creme Gel Liner. I have some mascara on, but I only put it on the outer half or outer 2/3 or so of my lashes, upper specifically, and half or so on the lower. And then I sneezed, but you know, we dealt with that after the fact. On my face, I'm wearing the Spring Magic blush palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. I dipped into these two tones right here. This palette's hard pan, but I go in so lightly with blush that I'm still able to work with it just fine. In fact, if it weren't hard pan, it might be too much for me. So I got it for $8 on MERCARI, and it's fine. It's fine. If I had paid full price, I think I mentioned in a different video, I'd be pretty annoyed, but I didn't. And I'm okay with an $8 palette that's hard pan because it's not gonna give me too much anyway. On my lips, I've been wearing a liner from Italia Deluxe 1052 Natural Beige, and the ColourPop, I think it's the glowing lip from ColourPop. I don't remember. This is either Candy Kisses or Tickled Pink. Probably Candy Kisses, because I think Tickled Pink is more of a true pink. Anyway, it is the glowing lip. I'm remembering now. That's sounding familiar. So I'm going to link all of that information below in the description box if you're curious. But that's the whole look. And let me tell you what I think about the palette. First impressions. It's exactly what I was expecting. You know, it's great Glamlite quality. This is part of a really nice series that they released a few years ago. I wish that they would bring back their original ideas. I mean, this is so creative. And even though I don't care for food themes in makeup, this is still a great release. And original, creative, interesting, different, and it's not one of a slew of collabs that are just them playing with other people's ideas. Anyway, great quality, lots of kick up in the pans, but I didn't really have much fallout on my face. I think it's just exactly what I expected. This shade on the inner corner is much more blue than I expected. Could be something to do with my undertones. I don't know for sure. It could be that I didn't go in very heavily. I think it might also, maybe it has to do with the other colors and the colors of my outfit or whatever, but I think that I matched my necklace pretty well, right? And yeah, I brought in the warmer tones because I had my palette pull-in, and I'm really glad I didn't dip in fully with my finger because that would have made my lid much more foiled, and then I think there would be a bit more of a war happening between the shades, especially because I've got such a cool inner corner and then such a warm leaning outer corner. The peachy shade with the brown really pulled orange. It's much more orange and warm tone out here than expected. I'm not complaining. I think it's fine. I think the look is cute. It does kind of work with my shirt, so that's fine. I very rarely wash off a look these days, even if I don't feel like it's working great. I'm more likely to change my shirt. But I'm pretty happy overall with my skill level at this point, so I rarely dislike a look so much that I just wipe it off. Sometimes I do. But anyway, those are my thoughts, first impressions on the Glamlite Margarita palette, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's eyeshadow look, the palette itself. Do you have it? Do you like it? Do you have anything else from Glamlite? I believe the only other thing I have from them is Dirty Martini. So yeah, I haven't tried anything. No, that's not true. I just picked up the Betty Boop palette. Yeah, my brain is, yeah, it needs a break. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I do have a Glamlite playlist, so check the description box for that, as well as other information. Thank you so much for being here. Perhaps you'll consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed today's look and you want to see more videos like this. I do tend to upload 3 to 4 videos every week, small children permitting, because sometimes I get more done, sometimes not so much, depends on how the week goes. I appreciate you being here, and I hope that I will see you again in my next video. Bye.